Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, bringing you guys a brand new 2023 album review. I meant to have this up 2 days ago, but I just haven't had the time to do it, but better late than never, right? And as you can see below the title, today we're going to be talking about the new album from the band Suffocation entitled Hymns from the Apocrypha, which is out now through Nuclear Blast Records. Now, I don't need to really introduce Suffocation. I'm pretty sure everybody knows of them. Been around since 1988 from New York. Putting out albums or classic albums since their first album came out in 1991, Effigy of the Forgotten. They've been putting out classic albums such as Breeding the Spawn, Pierce from Within, and shit like that. And overall, this is the band's ninth full-length album, and this follows up their previous album, which came out in 2017, Of the Dark Light. And this album is a little bit different. For one thing, we have a lineup change. For one thing, Frank Mullen, who's the original member of Suffocation, been with them since the beginning, had left the band or retired. Well, it was like right around after their album Pinnacle of Bedlam from 2013, which hard to believe it's now 10 years. I think he's only retired from doing full-time touring, and I know he did like one last tour in 2018 before he was done for good. And now they have their first album with their new vocalist, Ricky Myers, formerly of Disgorge. And when I first heard this album, I was a little bit nervous considering I was so used to hearing Frank Mullen's vocals. But when it came to this album, I was like, holy shit. And a lot of people say he kind of sounds like Frank. So in a way, I think they did a really great job with Frank passing the torch to Ricky. So I think the vocal work from Ricky has actually really good. I was a little bit nervous, but he does a really great job. I was pleasantly surprised. And the production on this is really amazing. Like, everything is where it needs to be. The guitar work on this album is tight from Terrence Hobbs. In my opinion, one of the most underrated death metal guitarists ever. The riffs that he comes up with, same thing with Charlie Arrigo. It was like both of their riffs are just really great. The bass playing on this album is pretty audible. Derek Boyer's bass is really heard well in the mix. And the drumming from Eric Morati. I probably butchered his last name. His drumming is really perfect. And so, without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is the title track of the album, Hymns from the Apocrypha. It starts with a very slamming death metal riff, and then it just starts off really heavy and fast. And Ricky's vocals match like the trademark Suffocation gutturals perfectly with the slow and speed up nature, which is pretty much a trademark of the Suffocation sound. And the intricate drumming with the unique drum fills and ride cymbals are just perfect. And the solo like halfway with the drumming and the cymbal chokes just really well placed on here. And the bridge of this song almost has sounds like a breakdown, but the chugging and the heavy and the slow with gutturals are fucking perfect. And I think it's a strong opening song and a great way to start this album with a bang. Moving on to Perpetual Deception. Now this song kicks off with some fast-paced drumming from Eric with the same sort of like tempo changing and chugging riffs from Charlie and Terrence. And this song feels almost gets a fake out with a long pause before it kicks back in with the speed, and Ricky's vocals and Eric's drumming drive the pace. And it has a slow chugging slamming riff into almost like a thrash metal style riff. And this song is just so good. Next on the album is called Dim Veil of Obscurity. Now this song is just another ass beater of the song, and it has like blast beat drumming and chugging throughout, and some intricate guitar patterns hit a halfway mark, which almost has a bit of a proggy kind of vibe in its playing. And this song is just a foot of the gas intensity from the band, and a great solo with Eric's blasting behind it. And I also love the bass from Derek sort of like around the bridge of the song. It reminding this of sort of like the classic death metal song with the bass pops coming in, and it's just fucking great song. Next up is Immortal Execration. Now this song is a booming song with the double bass and sort of like the slow ringing guitar sound. And this song starts off with a slow headbanging feel for the song before it just brings in, and the speed of the tempo comes in, it just speeds it up, and then it returns almost to the halfway to the slowed down thundering riffs and drumming. But I don't know, I just love it. Then the transition into the thrashy, relentless, intense riffing. This song is just insane. I think it's one of the best songs on here. Next up is Seraphim Enslavement. I probably butchered that. Now this song has some really great drumming and really great guitars that just hits you really hard, and the riffs sound like classic Suffocations from like earlier albums, such as like Ever Chief the Forgotten or Pierce from Within. And I this is actually the first song, I believe, which with Ricky Myers on vocals, the first taste we heard of him live with new songs. And then the band just loves like the tempo pace changes, which is it just comes in waves, and it slows down and then it just speeding back riff, then slowing down again. I just think it's a really great song. Next song in the album is called Descendants. Now this song has a great opening section from the band with the guitars ringing and the fast-paced drumming, and this song sets the stage for a great build, and then the machine gun blasting and the double kick drums. And I think Eric is just really stands out on this song. Just unmatched drumming with the intricate drum patterns is just insane. Next up is Embrace the Suffering. Now this song features a really great guitar solo that breaks the song up nicely, and it shows the really great talent here from the band. It just shows that they're a really tight unit. Delusions of Mortality. Now this song just almost sounds a bit sludgy a little bit into like a great assemble performance, that it just has that classic Suffocation vibe welded together with the polished feel in a way. I don't know, it's hard to describe it really. And then we close things out with Ignorant Deprivation. Now this is actually a re-recorded old song which appears on Breeding the Spawn, and this was actually, from what I heard, it was the poor production quality on the album. They decided to re-record it, and they also have former vocalist Frank Mullen on the main vocals, which I feel like this almost kind of acts like a swan song to him for it being in the band since the beginning, and pretty much a way to like pass on the torch to Ricky. And I think it's a kind of a bittersweet song, I should say, in my opinion. Now overall, Hymns from the Apocrypha by Suffocation, a really good comeback album, a really good way to signify sort of like a new era, the new beginning of Suffocation in a way. So if I have to give this album a score, I'm going to give the new Suffocation album probably a solid 10 out of 10. That's a really great death metal album. It's great to know that these guys were still kicking ass. Even with the new singer, they're back. So yeah, that's my review of the new Suffocation album, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.